If you are getting ready to buy a new muzzle, it's always a great idea to remeasure your horse and make sure you're getting the correct size. Depending on when you're seeing this video, we might have new size options and new sizing parameters available. So as always, check our website for the most up-to-date information and sizing chart information. To start to measure your horse for a grazing muzzle, it's ideal to have a cloth or flexible measuring tape, but if you don't have that, a strap or piece of baling twine will work as well. A strap is a little easier because it will lay a little flatter. And basically, to get this measurement, what you want to do is place it on the very most prominent tip of your horse's chin. It might be helpful to have someone to help you. As you can see in the video, not all horses are going to love that this is happening, but it's important to get an accurate measurement because we want them to be comfortable. So you're going to go to the very tip of their chin and place your measuring tape or strap or baling twine over their nose, and you want to slide it down in the front so it's just touching the very top of their nostrils. This is going to give us kind of the widest point of the horse's nose or muzzle area and let us know what the best size is for them. If your horse tends to be one that's really prone to rubs, like the horse in this video has kind of a pink nose and chin and is a little more prone to rubbing, you're gonna wanna make sure that the size is generous for the measurements that you took. So if you're kind of on the upper end of our size chart, you might consider sizing up. Or if you're in between sizes, we almost always recommend sizing up if you're right on that line, because we want your horse to be comfortable. There are lots of things we can do to better anchor a muzzle that's a little on the big side, but if it's too small, it's just gonna cause rubbing issues. But if you ever want help, feel free to send us your measurements and photos, and we'll be more than happy to help you figure out what the best size is going to be for your horse. Hey, it's Kara and Blaze, and he's wearing his helmet to remind us that measuring and getting a properly fitting grazing muzzle is all about safety. It's really important that we know our horse's muzzle measurements. In a previous video, hopefully you got instructions on how to measure around their circumference, and today I'm going to show you how to measure for bit size. It's pretty easy, even if you know their bit size. I don't recommend going by that just because everyone kind of has different philosophies on how to measure and how to fit bits. So the way that we prefer is to measure corner to corner of their mouth and then add ½ an inch. And that's gonna translate to our sizing chart. So even if you know or you think you know, I recommend just measuring. If you don't know at all, no worries, it's super easy. You don't need anything special. You can use a cloth measuring tape. I wouldn't recommend a metal or plastic one as that could injure the horse, but you will need some way to measure. The other thing that you can use is baling twine or any type of like string. You just don't want it to be stretchy because that's gonna make it challenging to get a good measurement. You could also use something like, I have a set of chopsticks here, but you could use like a dowel or something that was a little more stiff. You just want to make sure if it's something, if you put it in your horse's mouth, it's not going to injure them. And we are going through the bit area of the horse's mouth, which typically there aren't teeth right there. They've got teeth right in the front and molars in the back, and maybe a canine somewhere in between. But usually this area, they're not going to have teeth. However, if you use something like wood like this, there's always a concern that they could bite on it and possibly injure themselves. But Blaze is pretty good about not doing that, so that's what I'm gonna use. Also, oh, I can't actually thread this through, so I'm gonna show you both ways. So if you have baling twine or cloth measuring tape or any type of like strap, twine, string, the first thing, with twine, I usually like to tie a knot in one end, and then it's really easy for me to mark the starting point, and then I just mark the end point with my thumb. But you're gonna put that in your horse's mouth. Come on, Blaze, work with me here, buddy. And you're gonna mark one end either with a knot or with your fingers. I'm gonna pinch real hard, and they're sitting right at the corner of his mouth. And then over here on the same side, I'm gonna kind of pull it snug so it's not like loosey-goosey in there. Usually they're probably moving around when you're doing this. Blaze is being a good sport for me. And then you're just gonna mark the other end. The nice part about having a knot on this side is I can just let go of this side and pull it all the way through his mouth to then take my measurement. But I don't have that. Oh, we got stuck. Okay, even though I'm using a measuring tape, I didn't start at 1, so I am gonna have to do a little bit of math. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, just shy of 5 inches, and then to add 1/2 inch is going to be 5 1/4 inch. It's actually 5 3/8 of an inch, but yeah, so 5 3/8, and that tells me he probably is gonna need the horse size muzzle, but you can use this plus your circumference measurement to help figure out. We almost always recommend sizing up unless you have a donkey, and if they're in between the mini and the pony size. Sometimes we have some different recommendations there, so check out our donkey page website for that. But if you have something hard like this, it's kind of the same thing. You're gonna slide it in. I have to go in this way with Blaze because he can't open his mouth very wide. You're just gonna mark one side, mark the other side, and then I'm going to take this and measure it against an actual measuring tool to get that bit size. Yeah, if you have any questions, or if you want one of us to take a look at the fit or at your measurements before ordering, reach out to our customer support at gg-equine.com. We're always here to help. We want to answer your questions. And yeah, thanks for watching.